What's up guys? Today we're going to go over how to make a secret item frame door. So this door requires you to have all of the item frames in the correct orientation simultaneously in order for it to open. So if I can remember my combination, I think this is 1, I think this is 3, I think this is 1, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, if I'm correct. Yeah, cool. And then we see that it comes out of this wall right here, so you couldn't even see it when it was closed. You can go through and then you have your hidden room or whatever you have back here. And now this door requires all of the item frames to be in the correct orientation. So if I do like this, then it will close, right? So it's not like it'll be open for like multiple different orientations of the item frames. I will say right out of the gate that the redstone behind the item frames is a little bit long. So that is because we wanted to make it scalable. So you can add multiple item frames, like you could make this really long and have like 20 item frames, and you can stack all of these right next to each other. But in order to do that, we needed to make it really long behind the item frame, and as well as the fact that this comparator kind of needs to be facing that direction anyways. But other than that, it is actually pretty compact for what it is able to do. So that, let's jump right in. Alright, so to start off, I started with this little room right here that has our item frames in it, and that will have our door. You can copy this if you want, though I figure you probably already have a room and like an area sectioned off for this. And it can be in any orientation as long as you have a lot of space behind the item frames. You can also, again, have more item frames as long as they're one block apart from each other. So like this, you can't do this because the redstone will get kind of mangled. But you can have them one block apart and you can add as many as you'd like. You could have like 20 and do like that and just like keep going. So yeah, I'm just doing 4 because I think 4 is fine. So the first thing that we want to do is add comparators behind our item frames. So if we go through here, we add an opaque block on the block below the item frame. So like this is the block that the item frame is on. Then we go and we add a block below that. And that's so that we can make a comparator read the block that the item frame is on, right? So item frame's here. This is the block it's on. Comparator is reading that block. It's like facing away from it. And you can tell that you've done that right if these two torches back here are on, because they will be off if the block is like not opaque or if there's no item frame that it's reading. And we're gonna do that for all of them. So I'll just do that real fast. Fix the house light. I do that over here too. Whoops. Okay. So next, what we want to do is go and put all of the item frames in the orientation that you want them to be for the combination. So I want my combination to be like, they're already in the orientation actually. So if I put them in the initial orientation, what I want the combination to be is like rotation of 1, 3, let's do 1, and then let's do 4. Keep it consistent. So I want this to be my combination. You want to go put that in now because they'll make doing the redstone a lot easier. And then what we do is we go and we come back here and we see where the kind of cutoff is, because you'll see that like it'll be on, and then it'll be off. You want to find where that cutoff is, and that's dependent on the orientation of your item frames, because the comparators read the orientation of the item frames and output a signal strength dependent on what the orientation is. So like this one was in the first orientation, so it's 2, because it's like whatever the rotation is plus 1. This one is an orientation of 3, so there's 4 right here. So they're all going to be different. You want to find where it shuts off. So like this first one right here shuts off right here. It's a little dim, but you can see that this one's like particle affecting and then this one's not. And then what we want to do is break that one. We put a block down here. We're going to put a comparator down there and it'll turn on if you've done it correctly. And then what we do is we put a block up here, which you can do by holding shift on this. Make sure that none of these comparators are in subtract mode, which is when this front torch is on. So make sure all the front torches are all off. Then what we do is we put 2 blocks up here. We do redstone dust. And then we do another block here and we do a comparator like that. And then what we do is we do another block up here. And then we do a block over here. This one has redstone dust on it. And then over here we do a repeater like that. And this is a repeater, not a comparator. And then we do redstone dust. And then after, all the rest of the connections we'll do later. And then here, under this block, we put redstone dust like that. And it should be on. Yeah. Okay. And then we put a block right here. We do a torch here. And then we put another block here. We put a repeater. And again, not a repeater, or not a comparator, definitely a repeater. Also, all the repeaters are just like in the first delay, like don't delay them. So I have a repeater in there in between those things, and then that should be it for this thing. This signal should be off in the end, and you can check that you've done it correctly. If you break this, it should be on in the front, and if you put a torch here, it should also be on in the front. And this is simulating that the item frame orientation is in the incorrect orientation. So like also if I go over here and put it in the incorrect orientation, it should also be on in the front, which it is. And it should be on in all of the orientations except for the one that you want. I know this is kind of convoluted, but I can explain this. So essentially what this is doing is it's reading the strength that the comparator is giving you, and it's finding where exactly it is at the signal strength that we want it to be. So like this one, we want the signal strength to be 2, so like 1, 2. We don't want it to go any further. So all of this is checking that it is a strength of 2 and only a strength of 2. Because I've seen a lot of videos out there that do like a strength of 2 and then beyond, which just uses a repeater, and we don't want that, right? We don't want it to work with an orientation of like 1 up to 8 or whatever it is, or 7. So this checks that it's the orientation that we want and only that orientation that we want. I'll do this one more time, but the process is exactly the same. I'll do it on this side actually, because it'll be a little bit easier to see. Okay, so we'll do this one more time. So what we do is, again, we bring it out until we find where it's off, and this one's a lot longer than the one we just did, and it should be different unless the orientations are all in the same place. So we find where it's off, we go down, comparator, we then do redstone dust here, we do another one with redstone dust, and then we do comparator here, we do a block up here, we do a block after that, we do dust, and then we do a repeater, and then dust again. And then over here, we put a redstone dust down here, right below this comparator. We do a block, we do a torch, we do another block, we do a repeater facing this way. And that should be it for that one. You'll just do this for every single item frame that you have. And the important thing is that you get this distance here correct, which is essentially just finding where that cutoff is. This comparator should be on the block where it like is off in that correct orientation, right? So I'll do the other two right now. All right, so I went and I added in all of the rest of these like redstone things in the back of all of the item frames. So next what we want to do is actually build the door itself. So I want my door to be right here. So go find where you want your door. I recommend doing a 1x2, but you can actually do any door that you want. Because all this is giving you is like a redstone signal when the orientations are correct and when they are not correct. So then you can hook that up to any other door that you want. But if you want to do it the way I did it, I'll just show you this right now. So this is just going to be a 1x2 door. And what we want to do is we find where the door is going to be. We then go one block into it. So like in would be this block right here, right here. And then what we do is we go 2 blocks in either to one side. I'm going to do this side. And then we place sticky pistons facing you, right? So we have like 1 block this way, 2 blocks this way, and then the sticky blocks are facing here. We do 2 more like that. And then on these far ones, we do sticky pistons facing into the door like that. And then we take this block and we put it here. So essentially what happens is that these pistons will extend, and then these pistons will also extend, and then the calcite will end up here, and then it will like be flush with your wall. So next what we want to do is we want to go combine all of the end signals here. And I recommend you're gonna have to go underground on one side if you did item frames on 2 sides. Have the combined signal on the side that these 4 pistons are on, which means we're gonna have to go underground on this side. So let's just go combine all of these. Let's add a repeater every once in a while, because you want to make sure that if this is on, it reaches all the way to the end. That's pretty important. So we're just gonna go underground like this. Oh, I'll probably put a repeater somewhere down here as well. Okay, and then we'll go grab these guys, do the same thing. We just kind of bring this over, put a repeater somewhere. Okay, and then we do another repeater, and this is kind of like our output, like our grind output signal. Then what we do is we do 4 blocks like this. Sorry, 6 blocks, and then we go down, and we take this signal and we bring it up, and let's yeah, make sure that doesn't combine. Now, if you're in Java Edition, you can do this. So you do 2 repeaters like this, and then you do 2 more repeaters with delay 4, and then you do redstone. This will not work in Bedrock Edition, but you can quickly fix this by essentially getting rid of this guy, and then doing it on the side like this. So then you do this, and then you can like combine it like that. So this will work in Bedrock Edition, so it's a pretty quick fix. I'm in Java Edition, so I'm just gonna do it the more compact way by doing this guy, and we do repeaters here. Technically this will work in Bedrock Edition. It's just because when we do 2 next to each other, these don't face in anymore, and then it doesn't work as well. Okay, and then what we do is we bring, so like our roof will be here. So I'm just gonna build this real fast so I know where it is. Let's just build the whole thing actually real fast, just so that I know where exactly I am able to put stuff. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go up and around to get to the pistons on the inside. So we bring this guy right here up, we go up again, and then we go up again. If you're in Java Edition, try not to put it on the cal slide itself, because through quasi connectivity, it'll actually power the pistons kind of randomly. So you want it to be amply far away, which is why I'm going up another block here. And then we go down again. I think we need to go down one more time. And your pistons should be here if the guys are contracted, which they are not, but, or if they're expanded, I mean. Yeah, these pistons will end up right on this block right here. So then what we do is we can power this block with a repeater. If you're in Bedrock Edition, you might have to do this a little bit differently by essentially powering both blocks the same way, by doing like a repeater here and then doing a repeater, let's say, how would you do that actually? There are ways to do it. I mean, if you didn't mind the redstone, you could just do this and it would be fine. I don't know, you'll have to play with it a little bit because I'm not 100% sure how to do that. But anyways, we do this. And this one will just be a delay of 1. And actually, we're gonna have a repeater here. Yeah, we definitely need a repeater there. And then this guy will power this block. And then because that block powers the piston, it'll power the piston below it, I think. I could be wrong about this. Let's try it. So essentially, when we do that, it will kind of come out. Yeah, it'll essentially expand. And then when we put it in the correct orientation, if the delays are correct, it will come out like that, right? And these delays are pretty important. These guys need to go slower than this one on this side, which is why this is a delay of 1 and these are a delay of 5. That's just to give it enough time. And then, of course, over here, this is just where whatever you're hiding will be, right? And then you have all this space here. So you do need to kind of hide this redstone a little bit, but it shouldn't be too hard if you have like a hallway like that, or if it's like underground or something like that. And then over here you can do whatever because it's already past all the redstone. And that should be it. Alright guys, that'll be it for this video. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. Leave a comment if you have any issues and you would like to clarify some stuff, or if you have any other general suggestions, and I'll see you next time.